ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ಪರಿಚಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಚಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಗೌರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
Namaste.
Ma'am, before I get into your professional and the present thing, I just want you to recall your childhood. What all those memories? What is your background? How did you come to this particular thing?
Yes, first of all, thank you for casting me in your show. It's a big privilege to be with you. If you get back to my memories, it's nearly like, in my, I was born in the 60s.
Okay.
So I had my childhood in many places around the country as my father was in the army.
Okay.
So I did my schooling in Ahmedabad and then in Delhi and then back to Chennai and then got married in Bangalore. So basically I was a sports person. I was not into studies and things like that. I still remember, bottom down my education. My ranks were down really. I still remember those days. But then once I completed my college, I had a teacher in my English literature when I joined college in Chennai. So she was from CIEFL Hyderabad. So that is a reputed college for teaching English as a foreign language. So usually we have English in the schools, like your first language as a subject and things like that. But she inspired me that how you can teach English as a foreign language and how to teach English in English. So we had an option in college, like most of us do have an option in your college. So we had between journalism and ELT, that is what English language teaching. So that was something new. Most of the girls they all jumped towards journalism because that was cool, and I was the one who was always a rebel. So I chose for something which usually people don't go for. So what's that? Why this is given and why people are not going for that?
Okay.
So that's where I got inspired, like how to teach English in English as a foreign language, and in India it is usually is the first language.
True.
So it was very interesting. I still remember her name, Shantamma. So that's how I got into education, teaching and all that. After that there's no looking back. So I did my B.Ed. And then when I joined National Public School here in Bangalore. Those days, I started working in the 90s. But the education during those time was pretty much simpler, I would feel. Rather than the complexity like how we are facing, especially post-COVID.
True.
So there is a hell of a difference, how it was those days. We had that almost like that guru shishya kind of education. Still we had the respect for teachers. Learning used to be fun. There used to be in hierarchy, and we learned a lot of things, especially the skill based. Unconsciously we learned many things. But now education has taken a big paradigm shift, I should say. The skills have changed. The requirements changed, the generation have changed, right? And we are looking so much for the future ready skills, and nobody knows what the future holds.
There is a lot of terms, they are Gen Zs and millenniums and alpha, beta, all those things. I'm like, it's going away from the things because from the time we learned and, we educated people, it is completely different. It's 360 degree, you can say, if I'm not wrong.
You're absolutely right. There is a huge, so as I said, paradigm shift, there is a shift there.
Yeah.
So now it is not about the education, it's more of personalized.
True.
So it is about it is child centric, and there's a lot of choices also, I should say. Now people are going for more of hybrid learning. They're not looking up at the schools exactly. They're going for homeschooling, hybrid learning. We have NIOS and things like that. So there is a lot of options also now. It's very personalized.
Very true.
We are not now putting the child into a particular streamline like a horse, that you have to do this and this is how it is, like that. So there is a lot of goal setting and choices for the students now. That is a very positive thing in education. But then when at that particular age, when primary stage and the secondary stage, children still need guidance.
Agree on it.
Exactly. So that's where the catch is. So how much, especially now we are looking into AI integrated education. It's a cool thing now. It's the latest thing now. There's a lot of talk about even mental health and things like that.
True.
So still we are looking at guidance, the right direction for the children.
Yeah.
And
I also being in an educator, maybe not that educator kind of a thing, like I usually go for the personality development and motivational speaking with all kind of age groups, like right from primary to high school to college and even the management level, even in the corporate sector. So see, what I have observed is with this particular thing coming up, what you spoke about, the AI and chat GPT and all, people are too dependent, especially the student sector is so dependent that whenever I go for a lecture as a guest speaker or so, there is one thing which all the HODs or head of the institution put across to me is, please tell them that they need to write. Okay, so this one particular section is missing out in this generation. What's your take on it, ma'am?
That's a huge question, right? And very relevant I should think about it. See, AI should be used like a tool. It's a tool. It's like a teaching aid, as basic as that. But unfortunately, it is available for everybody. It's and it gives a ready answer.
Very true.
That's the so it makes everything look simpler and easier, but not always true. Right?
Got it.
You have to have the critical thinking, the mindset, the attitude to understand what's right and what's wrong. So basically, if you look at AI, it should be used only at the higher level, maybe at the college level. At the school level, especially at the primary schools, students still have to learn the basic skills of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So this LSRW skills should be developed without the interruption of AI. Right.
I agree on it, ma'am.
That is where the problem arises. So when you are using AI, you are using ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity at a very young age. Teachers are using it, and the students are also having an access at home. They have all of them have access at home. They have an internet, Wi-Fi, and things like that. So quickly they save time by getting the ready-made answers. And like you rightly said, the dependency is
more
done. Right. So and it becomes like a habit when this something is there readily available. Why not? It is like cooking an instant food rather than going the grind of going to the basics and things like that. So what happens is, if you are getting dependent on AI at a very young age, your thinking skills, your intellectual development gets stalled. That is the major danger of AI.
Yeah, what we call it as IQ level, ma'am. Like, actually from the time we studied, if we have scored first class marks, we were appreciated, right? 60% above and 80% was the distinction, right? But nowadays, this particular its question is very, very important, and I think parents also should relate to this. Percentage, okay, which I don't believe in, to be very frank with you. It is pushed, according to me, even when people come for the counseling with me, whether it's a couple counseling or whether it is a student coming to me just to have a casual talk also, one thing which comes up into their thing is the percentage is going low. How will they get an admission in a high level education institute and all? Kids don't understand this. They are more with the things. See, you only have showed them the mobiles, the iPads and all those stuff, right? So now you are complaining back the same thing. So How do you take it? Even in fact, as a principal, probably parents would have come to you also and spoken about this. So what do you say about this, ma'am?
Yeah, it's another important questions that I think all parents and the complete society needs to understand.
Yeah.
What has happened is we are relating education with job, with the careers.
Yes.
Education is different, schooling is different, and your careers, your job, or your purpose in life is all different. You know, so we are all getting mixed up. We are all giving education so that our child can, you know, get a better job. You can have a big huge package, you know, 12 lakhs per annum, things like that, and all. We related to that kind of thing. But education is like it has to make you a good person. It has to understand, it has to make you like a person who can make the right decision, like problem solving skills, decision making, critical thinking, all these kind of skills it has to develop. So it is a means, education is a means to make you a good citizen, a good person who can become successful in life. And it is not just the money, it is not that the what you earn that is makes you successful. Right. At the end of the day, you should be happy. Right.
Very much.
The happiness factor is missing. We are in a rat race.
Yeah.
So we are forgetting many things in life because of this rat race.
Yeah.
So because of the rat race, we are looking at the score. That's what you're telling me, right? You know, we are looking at the scores. We are always looking at 90 plus. Who's getting that? Who will be the number one? It's always right. Everybody cannot be number one in terms of scoring. Everybody feels that okay, you're getting a 98%, 99%, you're the best. It's not like that. A person who's getting even 70% or 80% can become more successful than a person who's getting 80, 90, right?
Yeah.
So parents have to understand that.
Yeah.
And now parents themselves, like, you know, they're coming from what you call this after millennium, the generation next, or whatever you can call them. They need to be educated. So as a principal, many times when issues or conflicts arises regarding the scores and things like that, I judge whether a parent needs a counseling first. So that's why we have a parent orientation. We have one-on-one with the parents. We educate the parents before educating the student. So that is very, very important.
Very good.
Right. So the parent and the school should go hand in hand. Only then there is a growth of the child.
Very true, ma'am. Ma'am, if we have to go back our memory lane, right? Our childhood, your childhood, of course, where probably you were the teacher when I was in my high school. Okay. So I can tell you that was the golden period of our time. And we enjoyed, we have done mischiefs also. We have, played on the roads. We were scared of our, you can say scared. We had that respect for our gurus. Like, even after the school, post the school also, even on the road, if we find them, we were in that attention position, and that, that complete this thing, folded hands, like you can't speak in front of them, or when they were passing by also, you stand, let them pass by, kind of a thing. So that's somewhere I see missing in this generation, and they're not understanding. They are actually losing out a beautiful part in this particular moment, whether they are in their high school or their first PU, second PU kind of a thing. See, I feel up to 12th, it's right, your high school to your 12th, it's a life-changing time for yourself. That itself, lot of students and maybe gurus also, like, because they are seeing that kind of a thing, they are also changing their perspective. They are not guiding them in a proper manner. They are saying, okay, whatever they want, let them do. Why we poke our nose in that? What do you feel? Is it right or is it wrong? See, if you have to go back to your memory lane, how were we at that particular time and how they are now, right?
See, there is a lot of gap now, what you're saying. See, in our times and all that, we were like brought up in a times where like you said, whatever the teacher says or a parent says, yes means yes, no means no.
Yeah.
We used to accept it.
Yes.
Right? Maybe something in the back of our mind, we might feel that may be wrong, but still our upbringing was, we were raised in such a way that, yes, we have to respect our elders, we have to take their word. It should be correct. Like we had that belief in us that elders are always right. We should listen to them. They always show us the right path and things like that. And it was, I think, true in many ways. That's why we are successful in our field.
Very true.
They're disciplining. Maybe it was a little bitter those times and all, but it did held a lot of good for us.
True.
Right? Unknowingly and consciously, we have attained success because of those values imbibed in us by our elders.
Very true.
But now if you see this generation now, we are feeling that they don't listen to us, they have their own world. It's a world of selfishness, I would call. Right?
I agree on it.
It is a complete world of selfishness.
Yeah.
But then I have experienced this Gen Zs or these generation, what you call, especially during this after
Alpha,
2000,
beta, whatever.
2000, like approximately around that COVID times and all this.
Yes.
These children, their sense of respect has changed, I would feel. I wouldn't say that they are not respecting or they don't value or something. There is a slight change in their show of respect. For example, I'll just give you a very straight example. We all, like you said, we physically we used to, like, we should not sit in front of elders, like we should always bow, we should not speak bad things in front of them and or something. Although we had a lot of fun behind.
Yes.
We should agree that we also had our childhood times, right?
Yeah.
But Gen Zs are, they say that, even I've seen that, they say we are not fake like you people. We don't do anything behind. Whatever we do, honestly, in the front, so we are real. So whatever we do it in front of you. We are very honest. Maybe you are slightly, like, fake, doing things behind the back of your this one. They feel that we were like that. And if you see that these generation, maybe they don't show, like I said, they don't show physically. But then at difficult times, if you see, they go out of the way to even a night something happens to you in midnight or something, like you're in a crisis or something, they are the first one to jump and come and rescue you. I've seen that. Right? And when time comes, when hard time hits, they are very creative, very innovative. They'll find new ideas, something really different, which we would not have. Maybe we have not developed it, I don't know. But they really have some innovative ideas who can find solution to all the problems.
I agree, ma'am, because see, even I have worked with this generation and I've educated them, I've guided them as a mentor. But as you mentioned, like, they are the first one. See, when they do it in a right manner, they are next level, ma'am. Okay, but the same way they are not taking that path in a right way. Okay, they are thinking, okay, fine, it's okay, whenever it comes we will see, kind of a thing. They are not prepared for what is going to happen. They are like, okay, today I have got 100 rupees, let me spend that 100 rupees. Right? Wherein what we were used to think is, okay, we had that rule of 10 to 20% of the saving, then goes to this, then goes to this, and whatever remains, okay, that also will put in the saving. But this generation, I am seeing, I have worked, I have educated them. They are saying, ma'am, it's okay, ma'am, today it is done, it is done. But yes, as you told, what they say is, we are right on the face. Right on the face in a polite manner, it is fine. Right? I agree on it. But that particular thing, when you put it in a rough manner, you speak to your parents in a very annoying manner and saying that whatever I am in front of you, I think that should change. That tone should change. I'm not saying you don't put across whatever your feelings are or so. Put it across in a right way. Definitely we are there to listen to you. Right? At the end, as parents, as gurus, of course, I always tell whomever I'm teaching, it's always I take something from you and go from here. right? So whenever I'm teaching a new set of people, I always pick up something new from them and go, because they are new generation. We have not. We a lot of things we need to learn from them. But don't you think if it's put across in a right manner, it's a better way?
Yes, very true. So this is where the socio-emotional learning comes into place. Right? So children have to be trained. That's what we earlier we were talking about, values and things like that. Social emotional learning is very important. So the qualities of empathy. So you have to tell them, see, your words are hurting. So they should know.
Yeah.
Suppose I tell the same thing, will it hurt? Yes, it
Choice
would.
of words.
Yes. So that kind of education, we do have the socio-emotional learning. It is slightly lacking, I agree. It is slightly lacking in this generation. But then it is not totally impossible. Definitely we can train these generation. But still coming back to the selfish world, it is a little difficult, They put themselves always first. That is why it is like that. It is me first. It is the world is going like that only. It's always putting me first. So they fail to understand that some actions and some words is going to hurt others.
True.
Right. So that needs a training. True.
Agree. See, whenever it comes to educating them or talking to them, see, I am a listener for them, right? So I tell them, put across everything without even thinking I will prejudge you. I will not prejudge you, just say it across. See, sometimes it is from the parent side. Sometimes my question is coming to the nuclear family thing. Okay. Of course, grandparents play very, very important role in upbringing of a child. Okay. Slowly, steadily, whatever the things are, we grew in that environment. We had our grandparents, we used to go in our summer holidays. Maternal grandparents were also there, paternal ones also there, and whatever they used to teach her, or that love value, that respect value, right, that conversation happening with the elders, the teachings what they have given us. So in the nuclear family, somewhere, because parents both are working, right, 90%, 10% still okay, one parent is at home and another one is working. So somewhere that is getting lost. Do you think this is one of the reason for it?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, it is the major reason, I would rather say, that this nucleus family is also breeding that selfish generation.
Okay.
When grandparents are at home, someone is always there for you, right? The child finds the mother and father in the grandparent, the grandfather, grandmother, and they need that quality time which we are talking about. Even small things at home, answering a small query about new things, about a flower or anything new the child finds in. There is someone to answer your questions. Nowadays the parents are working, both of them are working. They don't have the time. They don't answer questions. I'm not telling about the time. Yes, parents are busy. Nowadays world, both of them have to work. They are ambitious. They want many things. That is, it's a material world. Yes, we cannot escape from that. But then when queries are not answered, they should be there. Parents should be there for the child to answer the queries. Question. It's an inquiry world, because the child is now exposure is so much.
Yes.
The knowledge is everywhere, but there is very less wisdom. Correct. Right. So when you're answering questions for the child, which doesn't happen many times in the school as well.
Agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'll come to that later on.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the nucleus family. So when the child is not answered, like when he's, his thoughts, when his thinking is not appeased, he doesn't get answers, then he feels that that I'm not important. Maybe I've not, my questions are not right. His inquisitiveness is curbed down. So that's where the selfishness comes in. And all these things,
Yes.
the disrespect, the anger, the emotional. I'm talking still about it. He becomes emotional. That nobody is available to tell him all these answers. So that's where all these things crops up. So when you say quality time, you have to sit with a child.
True.
right? You have to sit with the child and understand his world. His world is different, and each level of learning process, each level of the child, each biological stage, you have to be there with him.
True.
So when the parent is missing, all these things crops up. We had the advantage of grandparents having.
Yes.
Their experience is immense. Like as you grow older, you have gained the knowledge, right, and the wisdom together.
Very true.
So that is passed on to the grandchild.
Yes.
The parents are unable to give. They are yet to get that wisdom to understand that. So when it's a nucleus family, it becomes a selfish world.
Yeah.
I'm going to my job, I'm earning money.
Very
And there is so much of guilt in the mother, especially the mother, working mothers. That is why they keep on buying gadgets, the toys, whatever the child asks for. Everything is gifted.
Okay.
Because the lack of time is balanced by the material world.
Yeah, it has become materialistic. Very, very high. That level has gone too high.
Yes.
Okay. My next question is actually, it's an alarm, ma'am. Okay. About the mental health. Okay. Because I deal with that. I deal with the stress management therapies without the medication. Like, I deal with that. I have done a lot of case studies, ma'am. Especially when it's a single child. Alone, whether it's a boy or a girl, and they are like, how to see. We had our cousins or our elder sisters or elder brothers whom we can go and talk to. Till date, if I have a confusion, see, I'm the eldest daughter of the family, so my cousins come to me for a lot of things, like if they are having any confusions, or if I have a confusion. So I have my aunt, my bhua, okay, that's my ate, and I have my elder brother. I will go to him and I'll check with him, okay, bhai, this is the thing, what do you suggest out of it? So do you think that is also one of the scenario at present where this particular generation is becoming stubborn, and they are not ready to, the selfishness whatever is coming is also one of the part of it, and they are not ready to share out their whether it is in terms of materialistic things or whether it is in terms of their what's running in their mind, what's inside going on. They are not ready to spill it that way. So do you agree with me on it, or is there anything else on it? Can you throw some light on it?
See, talking about mental health of a child, mental health is like, for all ages. Like,
very true.
We have to cater to all
very
the ages.
True.
And as a, maybe you're talking about teenager or something.
Yeah, teenager.
Like that. Because generally I'm saying till the age of 12, the child can still be molded. Yes,
yeah.
They can be the environment, what kind of environment you're providing. But after that, slowly you can see the child is slipping away from your hand. Correct. So that's where again the trainings should start. And you have to give them space and then bring them back to your way and all that. It's a big challenge. It might happen, it might not happen. Now, when you're talking about mental health of the child, the first thing, like I said, was environment. Environment is very important. It has to be, nowadays parents keep the children in a very protective environment. They know that the world out there has a lot of unpleasant happenings and all that. They try to protect them, but unfortunately they're cutting the wings off if you do that. I've seen that. And the child becomes a recluse, like he doesn't know many things, and he becomes little intolerant also. He is not exposed to many other things what is happening around the world, and he doesn't accept failures also. He's always like, you want to be number one, you want to always be successful. He cannot accept failures. So that is also, like I said, just cutting off the wings and all. So the child is not able to grow. Right? I'm not talking about physically, we're still talking about mental health, mentally how the child is becoming in that way. Intellectual development, we're talking about intellectual. But when something drastic happens, like something unpleasant happens, which is not agreeable to you as a child or something, how far the child is able to navigate to counsel himself that I'll have other opportunities, I will do my better next time. These kind of things has to be taught.
Very true, ma'am.
Recently now we are seeing that this NEET exam, it's because so many issues are coming up, whatever politics, let's not get into that, but let's talk about the students there, children. Now here we see a lot of students putting their whole life into it. They have now taken loans and invested that yes, they have getting through this and aspiring to become doctors and things like that. And when this comes crashing down, like we see a lot of suicide.
Yes.
Recently. We have seen a note that no, it's nobody is to blame. I feel that I'm not competent enough to live in this world, and they end their life. It is very, very sad.
Yeah.
So somewhere the schools and the parents have to work on their mental health, what we are saying like that, to make the child more resilient, that the world is full of opportunity. This is not the only one left for you. The path is not the only one.
Yeah.
They have to expose them to, the world has got many opportunities.
Yes.
But we are fixed. Like the parents are fixed, and it is like because your neighbor is doing, because my relative has become a doctor, you also have to become a better doctor than him. Something like that kind of upbringing is definitely going to help affect the mental health of the child.
Yes.
So you have to work on individuality of the child. Understand because every child is a genius. He's got his own strength and weakness. So tap that strength. If the parents work on tapping the strength of each and every child individually, not by comparing what's happening in the society or outside or your neighbors or your friends or relatives, I'm sure the mental health of the child will be in a good state.
Very true, ma'am. See, each of us have our own USP. Okay, that USP have to be we need to bring that out, which is at present lacking, man, because everything is put here. This is what you need to be, this is what you need to be. See, in our time also, parents were deciding, you become engineer, you become doctor. Okay, that time these are the two options were given, right? But somewhere I feel that kind of a thing should not continue. See, that was wrong. What I feel is that was wrong. You should leave it to them what they want to be. Let them choose it, let them choose that path and move ahead in path. That see, I take a session on building up self-confidence where I teach in 6 simple points how to raise it up. See, they have at present, this generation have got lot of confidence. I can say overconfident they are.
True.
See, that's also not right. What we say is take that balance and move ahead. And what do you say? They are not accepting that failure. I have failed many times, ma'am, in my life. But that doesn't mean I stop it there, right? In my family, in my friend circle, that didn't work for her, she's come up with something else. See, that should be the thing. Okay, it's okay, Baba, no problem. You have a choice. This world is of huge. This thing, ma'am, you go next door, you have any choice. It's only up to you how you want to take it and how you want to lead your life. Finishing your life is not the right way. I don't feel that that's a strength what you show. Your parents have brought you up, right? God has given you a beautiful life. I request this, everyone, irrespective to the generation we are in, that's not a solution, right? You are running away from your problems. Face the problem. When there is a problem, I always tell there is a solution.
True.
So find that solution. It's not that me or ma'am have not failed. We have failed many times, and we have let that go and we have moved ahead in life. That's how what I put across to the coming up generation and the present generation too. Leave that and move ahead. That's my mantra, ma'am.
That is a true education also. That is a true education. Right. When we fail, in fact, in our times, nobody was there to lift us up. Come on, move. They'll say that it's like a part of the life. That's fine. Find the next goal. Right. But now it's not like that. That is why
I still remember, I'm sorry to cut you in
Yeah.
between. I still remember when we used to fall, okay? So that time they used to say, it's okay, okay. If they have fallen, it's okay. They will, they'll grow up like this. Nowadays, the kid is like, little bit like this and parents are, oh God.
That's
That
why.
should not be the thing. You should let them. Of course, you need to hold their hand, but don't hold in a way where, in that particular moment, they completely are dependent on you, right? Our parents have taught us, our grandparents have taught us, but they've always given, my father used to say this, whatever you are doing, I belong to a very orthodox Punjabi family, ma'am. So, in our family, you learn, you educate yourself, that's your part, okay? But you should also learn how to run a household thing. So any kind of a scenario come to you, you should be able to pick that up, you should be able to run the show, okay?
Absolutely.
That way this generation is missing. Because everything is okay. Now, the cook, it's not cooked, Zomato it, right? Swiggy is there. All this kind of things on their fingertips.
True.
So that way, see, we are not making them, learn how to cook a fish. Go to the market, buy it, choose your things, come, clean it, make it, and eat it. No, they want everything, on their
Already
platter, and they want to eat it. So that kind of a parenting also, what I feel, education also, like what you said, the AI part, the chat GPT part, somewhere, if it is for emergency, use it, but use your brains.
Exactly.
Is what you can put it as a request, I can say it as a request, or take it as an alarm. This is going to kill your, what do you say, your
intellectual capabilities.
Yes. Your conscious mind, subconscious mind, both will get
Affected.
confused there. So you're confusing your own self. So don't do that. So if you want to sum up on the education sector as of now on the present thing, ma'am, I see there is there are a lot of changes happening. Of course there are a lot of plus which is good
discussed, yes.
as of now, and there are a lot of minus which needs to be improvised on. So what's your last say on it?
Yeah. See, education, like you said, education should not be, again, I'm reinforcing the same thing. It should not be for your job, for your career, for money. Right? Yes, it is a part of life. Everybody will be, competent enough to, according to their strength, they will be able to be successful in their life. However, you want to define the successes. So education should be generally to make you a person with good character, with the right attitude, with intellectual power that is always which will help you to navigate through all the crises which you face in your life. So that's what the education should be put to use for. Automatically when you learn these skills, you will find your happiness, you will find your purpose in life. You will have a very fulfilling life if you see it that way. So
Very
education
true,
should be for that purpose. So Swami Vivekananda's quote, I would just say, sir, don't look at the end, look at the means. The means will definitely take you to the right destination or the end.
Very true, ma'am. It was an eye-opening session with Gowri ma'am, and as an educator myself, I would request the education system, the schools, the colleges, the students, the parents, see to it you don't push them onto the things. Let them take it step by step. Thank you for watching us. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.